Hey guys, Dr. Norda here. I wanted to talk to you about 4th of July. So everybody loves grilling burgers. Well, maybe not everybody, but I know I do. And I wanted to give you some tips on how to decrease your inflammatory response, which is very typical with a typical standard American diet, which includes burgers, right? So here's some things that I've learned along the way. And also the reason I'm sharing this is because a lot of people that come into us have a complaint of brain fog, which is often a symptom of inflammation in the brain. And so here's one way that you can decrease inflammation while enjoying your burger on the 4th of July. Okay, number one, we're looking at the quality of the meat, right? So we don't want to get meat from the cows that are stuck in those concentrated animal feeding operations, the CAFOs. You want to get the grass-fed beef from happy cows, right? And make sure that when you cook the meat, often we char the meat, and it's that black charred meat that people sometimes love the flavor of, but it actually increases your carcinogens or cancer risk and can really boost or increase your inflammation. And then what you're putting into the meat is important too. So the types of seasoning or flavoring in there, often if you just buy a bottle of whatever seasoning is out there, you're going to have stuff with sugar and maybe other unhealthy spices. But if you add healthy spices, then actually the typical research has shown, first of all, that when you eat one of these typical burgers, your inflammatory markers skyrocket. But when you add simple things like turmeric, cumin, coriander, black pepper, that combination, and especially if you throw some avocado on top, those inflammatory markers actually don't spike. It blunts that inflammatory response, which is awesome, right? And then another part of this is, what are you putting on the burger? So cheese is a big one, right? Again, you don't want to get the cheese from those same unhealthy cows. You want to avoid the antibiotics and steroids and hormones and get some organic cheese or some raw dairy or raw milk cheese. Or if you know you have a sensitivity to cheese, maybe skip that one. And then load it up with veggies, of course. We talked about the avocados, good healthy tomatoes. Tomatoes are an important one to get organic. And then the toppings that you're putting on. If you're loading it up with ketchup that's full of sugar, other processed things, that's not ideal either. And then the mayo is often a problem too. A lot of people put mayo or Miracle Whip on their burgers. Let's switch that up. Instead of having the vegetable oil, which is going to be problematic, the sugar if you're doing the Miracle Whip or other toppings, let's make our own mayo. So we're going to include a video with this on how to make your own mayo, and it really has changed everything that we do as far as sauces go. You can make dressings, you can do all sorts of things with this mayo, homemade mayo. And then the last thing is going to be the bun, what you eat it on, right? So most of the time people go simple. They get the typical white bread bun that is fully processed, full of all sorts of problematic things in it. And often it's that combination of the bread that's not great, the cheese that's not great, the burger that's not great, that make people feel sick afterwards. But if you can do a lettuce wrap burger, you can put it on a tomato, or what we love to do is roast sweet potatoes and slice them first in about a quarter to a half an inch thick. Put some good salt, some Costco's organic no salt seasoning on there, and cook them until they're just soft. And then you can actually use that as the bun. And often I'll just use a single bun. So hopefully that allows you to enjoy your 4th of July, decrease your inflammation, and decrease your brain fog.